Hello, and welcome to episode 21 of Brisbane slowly losing his mind.
Oh yeah, and my voice.
Yeah, I know. We had a bit of complaints coming from Burgonian to end the episode about 3 minutes before it ended. So
Was it actually 3 minutes?
yeah, like 3 minutes.
Okay.
Anyways, we have our favorite person in the world, Brisbane. So without further ado, let's just get right into it.
Name and occupation, keep it short.
My name is Maggie Bird, sir, and I just recently rejoined the police force.
Howdy, Bonner.
I just realized I don't give any female characters in this game any custom voices. But I voiced 3 characters and they all have the same voice. I'm still trying to think.
Think, Burgonian, think!
It's like I don't know, cause I feel like I sound too male with my voice most of the time.
And I don't.
Okay, that's your decision. That's your opinion. Nah, I'll just stick to it.
Can you, like, say your actual line you have right now?
Okay. Tone the cheeriness down, Miss Bird. I'm not in a good mood today.
Bro, were you ever in a good mood?
There is no blood on the shore.
Good mood.
What a rude man you are!
I'm sorry, Maggie. Are you trying to die?
Yeah, she is.
Do you want my testimony or not?
If you're mean to Mr. Wright, I'm going to not testify.
Since that's what you've been specifically summoned for, what do you think?
How dare you raise your voice at me, young man?
Nah.
Alrighty, sir. One testimony coming right up.
What are we in the kitchen? Are we cooking up testimonies? I'm gonna cook up this testimony right for you, Brisbane. This is the part I'm most worried about. Maggie claims to have seen Snow commit the murder, and I know she wouldn't lie about this. Yeah, I am genuinely confused. Imagine she's just gaslighting the whole time and she didn't see shit.
I was patrolling Block A of the prison that night on my own.
Oh, on my own.
While approaching the interview rooms, I heard raised voices coming from one of them.
Raised voices?
I ran over to investigate and found the doors open slightly.
The door opened slightly?
I looked in and I saw Detective Snow standing by the body.
Well,
But then he turned towards the door and ran for me.
ran for you, what?
In a state of panic, I managed to cuff him. Then I escorted him to the detention center.
I see. And this is how the defendant came to be arrested?
Try getting out of that one, Snow. Or should I say, Mr. Wrong.
Actually, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright, you may begin the cross-examination. This doesn't really sound like what Snow would do if he was found in a murder.
Does it?
I was trying to look. Yeah, there's an man.
Oh, it could. It could be. What was it?
An imposter.
Yeah, like Crump. So it's probably Vex.
All by
Wait,
yourself.
no. Then how would he be cuffed? Never mind.
Yes, so?
Quoting Google translated 2-1. But you're a woman.
Okay.
I'm not even, the first line in Google translated 2-1 is, so why do we need women? How come you were alone?
Oh, right. The truth is, Mr. Wright, that I was meant to do prison patrol with a partner. But we, had a disagreement.
It's we. Really? What sort of disagreement? What sort of a disagreement? That's totally grammatically correct.
It is.
He was being a jerk, taunting me, saying that I was too scaredy cat to patrol the prison at night.
I feel like I should know who this is.
Is this the...
Is it? No, it can't be Jake.
give him more details, give him more details.
I'll show you, I said. I'll do it all by myself. Then who's the scaredy cat, huh?
You did your world troll alone just to prove you're someone that... Just to prove to someone that you're not a scaredy cat?
That's right, sir. Why are you calling me a scaredy cat, too?
No.
Yes.
What? No, of course not. I find myself worrying about the level of maturity in the police department right now.
Oh, it's never been high.
But the joke's on him. Block A barely held any prisoners at all.
Wait.
Block A.
Wait. What? Isn't that where the body was found? The first one, I mean?
Me.
Oh yeah, there's nobody in Block A due to the Chief's mass transferal. None except for Volpone Maplethorn, who fucking died. So you were patrolling Block A alone! What happened next? Do you recognize any of the voices you heard?
I remember hearing Detective Snow yelling at something about lights.
Lights, camera, action! Did you hear any other voices? No, they were all in my head.
No, sir, I don't think I heard anyone else's voice.
What does she mean by you yelling about lights? We were about to start a shoot, that's why. I've forgotten already. From what? Exactly. Don't you remember about the blackout? Oh yeah, I completely slipped my mind. What's that about a blackout I hear the defense whispering about? According to my client, Your Honor, there's a blackout that hit during the interrogation. Oh no.
Blackout?
Oh no, that's not good. So, in this would justify what Miss Bird said about the defendant shouting about lights, camera, action. This blackout might just be a useful piece of information regarding the murder. So you heard the defendant's raised voice. What did you do next, Miss Bird?
I ran over to investigate him.
Did you see into the room?
No, only a small portion of the room from where I was standing, sir. I could only see the side of the table the officers were stood at. Or should I say officer?
Officer!
Observe.
Can you tell us more about what you saw, Miss Bird?
I guess I should.
Yes. You saw what?
There was a body slumped over the table. Detective Snow just seemed to be standing there looking at it.
What else was you gonna do in the moment? This isn't good. This isn't good at all. I need to press her for more info on what she saw. So many questions whizzing through my mind right now. Okay, Phoenix, calm down and collect your thoughts. Take this one question at a time. What should I ask Maggie about what she saw?
Else.
Was there anything else in the room that you noticed?
Not really, sir. There was just Detective Snow in the body. Nothing else stuck out as odd.
I feel like that's odd, though. Just Detective Snow in the body.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I just remembered something else. Detective's body, there was something lodged in his back, sir.
What?
Wait, what? That's not possible.
I don't... What?
Can you describe what you saw in more detail? No! This is
I didn't really see
bullshit!
that well, but it
No!
looked like something long and thin.
No! No! This did not happen!
Oh, my voice is better.
What?
It was the only long, thin object in the court record, Mr. Wrong.
Blood on it! There was is literally 0 blood found on it. I am not about to have 2 Crash Out episodes back to back.
That's right, Snow's the current stiletto.
No, it's not the murder weapon. I'm getting gaslit.
It doesn't have blood on it. It doesn't have blood on it.
It should have blood on it if it was in the body.
Bro, this is like the
But Mr. Brisbane, it has been proven that the stiletto had nothing to do with this case.
Maybe, but what's the defense's take on this object? It's a prop. In his office. Still a vital piece of evidence until you can discredit in purpose entirely, bro. So how about it, Mr. Ron? Are you up to the task?
That's impossible.
Can you prove the relevance
There's
at
blood
all?
on it.
Again?
There's a great question. Could you describe what the Dr. Snow was doing in more detail?
I'll try, sir. Let's see, for the most part, you seem to just be standing there looking at the body. That's all I remember. I'm afraid Mr. Wright is sorry.
That's not enough for my liking. Alright, what do you think the object was, Miss Bird?
I hate to say it, sir, but I have to agree with the prosecutor.
What?
That long, thin dagger looked an awful
What?
so. Of course, I couldn't see it very well at the time, but...
But that can't be possible! There's no traces of blood on it!
That's unnecessary badgering of the witness. Stop it.
No, it isn't!
No, it isn't.
That's a very valid question!
What she thinks the object was doesn't matter. Yes, it does.
It's actually quite important what she thinks it was.
Yeah, yes, it does. What does matter, Ember, is how you can disprove the stiletto being this long, thin object. And don't give me the same blood excuse.
That's what?
That is the only point. The presence of what it might be, this object can't completely discredit it altogether.
I'm forced to agree with you on this. No! What?
This game!
A long, thin object exists. An object that the witness saw lodged in the victim's back. Although the stiletto has no blood on it, we can't yet disprove its value as evidence until we know for sure what this long, thin object was. There must be some way I can prove the stiletto wasn't that object. The time Miss Bird may continue with her testimony. But up in the accessory, you saw the defendant. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Ran for you? I was like, wait, is that a bug? No, Snow said that. That's kind of exaggerating things a bit, wouldn't you say? Detective Snow, control yourself! Only the defense may question the witness.
I couldn't tell.
I'm sorry for wording it like that, sir. My bad.
Bruh. Quiet! you couldn't even read it.
Was Brayden told her to say that Snow ran for her? That's desperate.
Let me rephrase what I said. He ran towards the door, but didn't seem to notice me. I stepped back as he burst through the door. Then, instead of panic,
The rest of my client then and there? All by yourself?
That is actually the part I'm most suspicious about.
that's right.
Aceattorney! TV!
No, bro. We stood up until what, 3 a.m. trying to watch that?
Yeah. Did you resist at all?
Resist? When face to face with Officer Maggie Bird? Of course he didn't.
I think that's like the one person you could resist arrest and get away with it.
Yeah, what?
It wasn't quite as dramatic as that. I didn't resist because I had no reason to. Only a guilty person tries to resist. Not entirely.
Well,
that's not entirely true. I mean, it's usually true, but it's not always true. can't help but notice that there's too many vague statements in that testament. I just pressed them all, Phoenix!
Bruh.
Pressing would be a good start would be a good place to start right now and then see what we learn as a result. I literally just pressed all of them, Phoenix. What do you want from me?
I was patrolling Block A.
One of them, I ran over to investigate and found the door open slightly. I looked in and I saw that it was no denim, blah, blah, blah. Was there anything else about Detective Snow that you noticed?
I'm not sure what you mean, sir.
It was quite a straightforward question. Was there anything about his appearance that struck you as odd? Was he wearing any gloves, for instance?
Gloves? No, I don't believe he was wearing any gloves, sir. I clearly remember when I handcuffed him. He had nothing like that in his hands.
Detective Snow wasn't wearing any gloves. Wait a minute. And that means... Your Honor! Think back to what this knife for a moment, supposedly the murder weapon. Oh yes, clearly the murder weapon since that stiletto was nothing but a red fucking hair.
Thanks.
What about it, Mr. Wright? Bird just stated that my client wasn't wearing gloves of any kind. The only fingerprints on this knife are those of Volporn Paradox, the victim. Meaning, that Detective Snow did not touch the knife at all. The defense may be onto something here, even though he was onto something from the first fucking testimony about this goddamn knife. Detective Snow had meant to use the knife, he most certainly would have used gloves. But seeing as none were found on his person nor anywhere else in the room, please continue your testimony, Miss Bird. Wait, that's what that means? I see. There's something long and thin. So I feel like we have to present something here. I feel like it's the autopsy report, because the autopsy report directly contradicts this. Or it doesn't, I guess. I'm stupid. Okay, I don't know what you want from me. What? What do you want from me?
What a game.
Do you have any ideas? I'm at a stump.
I don't. I don't. I'm so useful, I know.
Yeah, just great. I have no other ideas. I just don't know. I wouldn't get too attached to that stiletto if I were you, Brisbane.
Let me ask you a question, Phoenix Blight, bro.
What?
That's a new one. That's a new one.
Blight. Clever.
If stiletto was such a red herring, what did Officer Burns see in the victim's back?
Why, this, of course.
Okay. That knife? You know, remind you of what Officer Burns described the object as? What? Can you remind him, witness?
I said it was something long and thin, sir.
Right, now which part of long and thin do you not understand?
You are the one who doesn't understand, Brisbane.
What?
You've forgotten about something else. There's something in the court record that proves that this knife is what Miss Bird saw.
Court record.
Let's take another look at the autopsy report. On page 2, it states that the knife entered the victim just sideways. Oh! Now what did the victim do after he was stabbed? He fell forwards over the table, the knife got pushed to his back. Alright, now try to visualize the scenario. Yeah, the knife got pushed to his back, that's why! The body was face down, with the knife's blade sticking out of his back sideways. Wait a moment! The knife blade entered sideways, and the witness saw the body from the side. Oh shit! Precisely! Miss Bird! It was this knife that you saw on the victim's back! I see! It all makes sense now! From observing the situation from the side, the knife would have appeared to be the thin! Exactly, Your Honor. And what's more, when the victim fell forwards, the knife was driven further into his body by the table. And more of the blade was visible protruding from his back, which easily could have been mistaken for the stiletto. I see. Rather than having an object lodged at the victim's back, an object sticking out of his back. Mr. Brisbane, yes, you stop relying on the stiletto as valuable evidence. So far, you've shown not one shred of proof that the defendant used it to commit the crime.
So I haven't, Your Honor.
Miss Bird, I have a question for you if you wouldn't mind answering it. Fire away, fire away. What appearing to have told us so far appears to make sense. But there's just one thing that strikes me as odd.
What's wrong?
It had also been brought to our attention by the defendant that there was a blackout that night. How were you at all able to see if what you described that the building was pitch black?
That's what I was confused about as well, sir.
Oh no.
What blackout?
Oh no. What? What do you mean, what blackout?
The lights were on while I was patrolling the corridor. And when I looked in the interrogation room, the lights were on there too.
Couldn't they have, like, just come back on?
No, she's saying that it was on the whole time.
Oh, I just knew there was something I forgot to explain. I can tell you what Officer Bird is saying, Your Honor. You can. Very well, please tell us more about the supposed blackout. During the Bulber's interrogation that night, there was a horrible storm blaring outside. All of a sudden, the power was cut and the room went dark. I could see that the lights were still on in the corridor outside. It could have only meant one thing. The lights must have struck the individual power box for the interview rooms. That's very convenient.
That's specific.
And also extremely convenient for the killer. Switch on many different power boxes for the different sections, you see? I see. We'll have to run an investigation to make sure that this really happened. Examination of the power box for that room should provide us with the proof the court needs. It's just one more thing I'm confused about, Detective. If the bulb of lighting did indeed strike the power box as you said, reminds the witness saying the lights were on when she looked into the room.
Yeah, explain that, Snowball! How exactly did the lights suddenly come back on?
Auxiliaries. Well, that was easy.
What? What are you... Auxiliaries?
Yeah, auxiliaries. Switching an auxiliary or a backup power system. If you have a power box shorting, the auxiliary power system kicks in for that sector. How long did it take for the system to turn on after a power cut? The murder happened in 15 to 20 seconds?
Oh.
Around 15 to 20 seconds. Something like that. It doesn't happen often. So yeah, that's why Officer Bird didn't know anything about a blackout. By the time she reached the door, the backup power system had lit in the room again. Very well, I'm inclined to regard what you have told us as the truth, Detective. However, I still feel that the power box should be looked at for lightning damage regardless. Any objections to this from the prosecution or defense? Detective Snow seems sure that that's what happened. And as he is my client, I have to trust him. No, Your Honor, the defense has no objections to this investigation.
And neither does the prosecution. Want to know why?
Because it didn't happen! Humor me.
Just because Snow might have been truthful about the blackout, so what? What does it change? What about Snow's innocence as a proof?
We weren't really trying to do that.
Oh. Nothing! This auxiliary lights enable a clear view of what Snow was up to.
He has a good point. Justification for the blackout doesn't change what Maggie saw. Speaking of Maggie, I find her testimony awfully vague in places. I wonder if she saw more than she's telling us? Miss Bird, if you could, I'd like you to tell us more about what you saw. Miss Bird, if you would.
Further detail. Like I said, I can only see one side of the table because of the narrow gap. Detective Snow was standing over the body with his back to me. He looked across the table for a second, then turned and ran towards the door. I jumped back as he burst through and promptly arrested him, saying that I saw everything.
What could you have seen? You looked across the table, you say?
But it's nothing, Your Honor. But Mr. Wright did ask me for more details.
No, this testimony meant amount to something after all. Mr. Wright has the ability to do that for some reason. Cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Further details.
Like I said.
Oh.
Here we go.
Here we go. What do you mean? How narrow is the gap? What?
Stupid question, move on! All that matters is how much of the situation the witness could see. The gap was only large enough for her to see one side of the table. That's what's important. And even more importantly, what was the defendant doing, witness?
I mean, that makes sense. But you'd still see the knife in the victim's back, correct?
That's right, sir.
Aceattorney. Was the detective doing anything suspicious, or was he just standing there?
Just standing there from what I could see, but I guess there was something else. He looked across the table for a second, then turned and ran towards the door.
You say Detective Snow looked across the table?
Yes, sir, just before you made it for the door.
I believe I did, actually. You did? But why? What do you think? Mr. Wright, I'm not sure that I'm seeing the point of pressing this statement. Unless I'm sorely mistaken. Maybe the judge is right. I'd say the statement probably isn't getting us anywhere. No, Your Honor. Miss Bird, could you continue your testimony, please? What? What?
Something tells me you should press again.
Oh!
The revelation.
Wait, he was looking at he was trying to look at Volper! Your Honor, I believe that wine detective still looked across the table is very important. Oh, what could be the reason for why he did this? There's one person involved with this murder whose actions have not yet been made clear. And the actions of said person would certainly be vital for this case. I mean, it goes far as to say that this person's actions will reveal the true killer. Another person? You don't mean... I do mean. I believe we are all curious to know the movements of this particular individual. Vecht Volper! Order! I'd forgotten about Volper, I must admit, mostly because he's an annoying prick. So, Mr. Wright, if you're saying that the killer was someone other than your client... Yes, Your Honor. Didn't you find it strange to think that Volper was just sitting there while the murder happened? He must have been involved somehow. Therefore, I believe a testimony from Volper is required to know exactly what he was doing during the murder.
No! You mustn't allow us to happen, Your Honor! Please, I need to win!
That's...
Bro is desperate.
Wow.
Bro is so desperate.
What's wrong with Brisbane? Looks like he's out to burst into tears. We're not saying about how he's torn between his hatred of Volper and his desire to win at least one of the cases against you.
At any cost!
His frustration has been growing and growing, and loss after loss. Frankly, it's killing him. He can't help it. It's just the way he's been conditioned. It's been drilled into his head that this is what he needs to do in order to control his emotions. Manfred von Karma. If he wants to win a case just to put an end to his increasing anger? Yeah. Right now, he's torn between convicting Volper and convicting me. Since I'm the one on trial, well, there guesses to which one he's trying to get guilty. Well, you know what must be done. You need to call Volper to the stand. He needs to testify regardless of Brisbane's condition. Brisbane, where's Volper now?
So still in solitary confinement, Your Honor!
I thought he was going to be the witness of today's trial, not Maggie. I see. Bailiff, contact the police department to make sure they bring Mr. Volper to court. Miss Bird, Did you manage to see what Volper was doing at all?
I only saw Detective Snow in the body, I'm afraid. It was all I could see through the gap in the door. Wait, what am I saying? I did see Volper.
Oh? You did? What? You did?
Oh. Shut up.
We went back to investigate.
You went back?
This is surely worth looking into. Your Honor, I think it's better to give one more testimony while we wait. Is that okay with you, Maggie?
Of course, sir. It's the least I can do.
The least you can do? I wonder what does she mean by that? For all my bad luck!
During the interrogation, Detective Snow told us to go and check out the room he was just in. He told us there was an insane killer on the loose and that it was my fault.
Oh.
So me and some other officers went back to interview room number 2. And we saw Vex Volper just sitting there, staring at the body.
That's...
Before he had a chance to even speak, he subdued him and threw him in solitary.
Oh, wait, you're talking about Volper. That's what I say.
Volper.
Luckily, he seemed to just sit there the whole time. Strange, really.
Okay.
Strange indeed. So Volper was just sitting there?
It sounds crazy, Your Honor, but he wasn't doing anything. It was as if he was sitting around waiting to be arrested.
Sitting around waiting to be arrested, huh? I, for one, am most curious to know what his motives were for eating how he did. Mr. Wright may begin the cross-examination, and once you have done so, I would like Mr. Volper himself brought to the stand. We want to win, please! He doesn't want Volper to testify, all because he knows that Volper will most likely be found guilty. And Snow will be innocent, meaning that he wouldn't have lost yet another case. It's kind of sad to hear about the emotional trauma and karma put him through. He's been told to win at cases in order to classify as self-destructive rage. But I won't let him win if it means an innocent man goes to prison. I have to do this, for Detective Snow's sake. Did every officer go? Yes, the entire police force went inside the
entire police force went.
Of course not! The Detective Snow would have gotten away!
What?
I'm sorry, sir, I didn't mean...
Hey, no offense, I am the crazy killer here, after all! Let's just hope the judge isn't so gullible as to believe what you just said, Detective.
Only 3 of us left the room, sir, myself included. We only went because...
Insane killer on the loose.
Hold it! So you're saying that Volper had an ample... So you're saying Volper had an ample time to escape?
I didn't know there was anyone else in there at the time. Let alone one of the city's most notorious criminals.
Tried down her while she was arresting me. But what did you think the 2 officers were doing in their interview in the first interview room in the first place? Would you have thought there was someone else in the room with them?
As strange as it sounds, sir, I thought nothing of it. I was so shocked by what I was seeing that I didn't think about anything else.
That makes perfect sense, witness. So when Snow told you that there was a crazy killer in the next room, what did you do?
How far did you have to travel to reach the room?
Since we were also in one of the interview rooms interrogating Detective Snow, room 7, I think. It took us about 10 seconds to run to room 2, sir.
See, so they would see Volper flee the room as they were heading that way. What happened once you reached the room?
We charged into the room!
Was that all he was doing?
That's right, sir. He looked frozen, to be honest.
Yeah, he was unconscious, I'm sure.
Wow.
That was weird. This was Snow taken away. The coast was clear for Volper to escape. Why didn't you run? Run, bitch, run! Wait, actually, now that he says it, that is a good point. Why didn't he run? Because he had to have killed Paradox. Wait, why didn't he... Wait, now that I think about it, why did he not
Good
run?
question, actually. I'm thinking that too now.
What did he do next, Whisper? Also, I'm wondering why the hell Detective Snow is still on trial to begin with.
Yeah, good question.
I feel like at any point in time, we can really just say not guilty, because the knife can't be the murder weapon, which means there's literally no evidence that Snow did this murder.
Yeah.
As you're sitting in the doorway, he was very slowly turned his head towards us like a creepy psychopath. Volper already had himself. Why take him straight to solitary confinement?
Because we were interrogating Detective Snow. He told us what had happened and that there was another murder in the next cell of Volper's. While we went back to arrest him, some officers went to check out the murder he was talking about. They were told not to return Volper to his cell in case the murder actually happened.
Couldn't take him back because of the investigation of both cells, correct?
Right. We chose instead to throw him to solitary where he couldn't cause any more harm.
Based.
I'm surprised he didn't make a break for it as we took it.
So am I.
Yeah.
Luckily, he just sat there the whole time. Strange, really.
Good boy.
Bruh.
You're right, it is strange. Any ideas as to why he didn't make a break for it?
No, sir. But when we entered the room, he just sat there staring at the body. He didn't even notice us until I spoke up.
What? I think I have heard all that we need to hear from this testimony. Let me reiterate what I have learned from also parents' testimonies. She saw the defendant and the victim's body in the room, a room from which was previously in darkness, leading to the murder of Officer Paradox. The defendant left the room and bumped into Miss Bird, who promptly arrested him. During Mr. Snow's interrogation, they learned of another murder which had happened in a prison cell. In accordance with the presence of ex-Volper in the room with the victim. The police found him still in the room and proceeded to place him in solitary confinement. Are we clear on what has transpired thus far? Yes, Your Honor. Yes!
Yes!
Very good!
I was just
Thank you,
vibing to the
Officer
music.
Bird. You may step down now.
Hey, Mr. Wright!
Yes, Maggie?
I hope my testimonies haven't been a hindrance to you.
I never want to speak to you again!
Bruh.
I don't actually believe that Detective Snow was the one who killed the
I'm
victim.
pretty sure you said like 3 times Snow was the killer.
I'm just telling you what I saw, that's all.
But I saw. No, I wouldn't say that your testimony has hindered me in any way. But rest assured, with your help, I'll find the killer and ensure he's brought to justice. Apologize. Wait, no, that's too early.
Shut! Shut!
Really? Thank you, sir. Glad to help in any way I can. I hope you catch the guy, whoever it is.
You can jam to it later, bro. We've heard this theme 1,000 times. I promise you I will. I wish she hung out me when she said that.
Serious question. Are you sick of this theme? Because I kinda am.
Maggie said herself that she didn't really think you did it. Now that Volper started entered the trial, I think a lot of people are going to rethink their suspicions. I don't know why he wasn't brought in from the start, but okay. No, I believe we're soon to be graced by I don't think we should say we're going to be graced, but... yeah. Court will now take a 30-minute recess while we wait for him to be brought to us. And while the interrogating room's power box undergoes examination for damage from lightning, see if the defendant's story of the blackout is indeed the truth. Court is adjourned.
Oh my god.
You heard it here first, mate. You've seen Brisbane's true self coming to the fore today. His obsession to win a case has really has him really putting the pressure on me during the investigations. Perfection is his goal, nothing short of perfection. Just too bad he's never even been close to perfect. Now you see what I've had to put up with on a daily basis? Perfection, huh? Phoenix, Robert. Hi, Detective. What brings you here? Just thought I'd come and see how things are on this side of the wall. Hey, any word on Roper yet? Oh yeah, that's the other reason I'm here. Almost forgot. You almost forgot about the most important thing right now? Got a call from the precinct that he was brought here in the police convoy. Prison man should be entering court premises about now. Wonder what they told me. He didn't come quietly either. He had to be tranquilized before— What the fuck? He'd be tranquilized before they were able to take him up to the van. Tranquilized?
Yeah,
Wolper put up a fight just for being asked to testify.
that sounds like
Unless... I know, right? Yes, he must have something to hide about the murder. What about the Maplethorne murder? Will that be during the trial? Of course. Well, I understand of yesterday's trial, Wolper was found to be the most likely suspect of that murder, yeah? Most likely suspect? He was the only suspect! Well, no doubt that the final verdict for that trial will be rendered today, too. And depending on what stance of the dog's murders today, he could be facing the chair.
Oh.
Listen, I'd be best off now. I'd best be off now. The prison van should be here by now, and I need to meet the escort party. Good luck, Phoenix. Robert. You heard him, mate. This is Wolper's final chance to cooperate. How likely will that be after hearing that he had to be tranquilized to be brought here? Yeah, I know. It doesn't bode well for his well-being, does it? This is it. This is the part of the trial where we learn the truth. Is it really you, Wolper? Is it you who killed Paradox and Cedric Maplethorne? What did you have to gain from it all? What was your motive? Rest assured that I will find whoever committed these murders, the true villain of the piece, and ensure that they are brought to justice. Apollo— Nope, still early. And that's where we'll be ending today's episode. Wait, wait. April 12th, 12:15 a.m.
Hey!
Oh man, that was a long recess. I'm feeling really tired.
12-hour recess. You telling me Volper was in solitary for that long?
Wait, it was negative 12-hour recess.
Negative.
It was already April 12th.
Oh!
Anyway, we'll see.
So we jumped universes.
We're in an alternate timeline now, guys. We'll see you guys in episode 22, I suppose.
Bye!
Bye!